Picture this, a food delivery driver out on a late-night run under a pitch-black sky. The evening's chill is biting, and the only sound that breaks the silence is the gentle purring of the car's engine. The destination is a house at the edge of town, remote and isolated, a place seldom visited by the usual hustle and bustle of the city life. As our driver ventures further from the comforting glow of the city, the landscape morphs into an eerie tapestry of shadows. The moon, a spectral orb in the night sky, casts long, distorted silhouettes that dance and sway with the rustling trees, creating an unsettling panorama. The house, when it finally comes into view, is an ominous silhouette against the starless night, its darkened windows like vacant eyes, staring into the abyss. The usual cacophony of city life has been replaced by an uncanny silence, disturbed only by the occasional hoot of an owl or the rustle of wind through the leaves. It is a silence that seems to echo the isolation of the house, amplifying the solitude of our driver. The driver's phone buzzes, shattering the quietude. It's a call from the customer. He picks up, expecting to hear the usual directions or requests, but instead his ears are met with an unintelligible whispering. The voice on the other end is barely audible, a low murmuring that sends a shiver down his spine. He tries to respond, to ask for clarity, but the whispering only grows more insistent, a susurrus of sounds that seem to creep under his skin and linger there. The driver, unnerved, decides to complete the delivery, unaware of the horror that awaits. He steps out of the car, his heart pounding in his chest, the bag of food in his hand feeling like a trivial offering to the ominous house that looms before him. Little does he know, this is only the beginning of a night he will never forget. As the driver steps out of the car, he feels a chill run down his spine. The cool night air bites at his skin, and a sense of unease fills the air, as palpable as the autumn mist that clings to the ground. He surveys the house before him, an architectural specter shrouded in darkness. No lights flicker in the windows, no signs of life stir within. It's as if the house itself is holding its breath, waiting. The walk up to the house is a tightrope of tension. The silence of the night is deafening, broken only by the crunch of gravel beneath his feet and the distant hoot of an owl. This house, this place, it feels abandoned, forgotten by time. Yet, here he is, pizza in hand, walking up to its door as if it were any other delivery. He knocks, the sound echoing hollowly through the still night. A moment of silence stretches into an eternity before the door creaks open just a sliver. He can't see who's on the other side. An unseen hand reaches out, leaving an envelope of money on the tray. In the same motion, the food is taken and the door shuts abruptly. The transaction is over, but the unsettling feeling lingers. In the envelope, he finds the exact amount due, but no tip. Instead, there's something else, a note. The driver, relieved to leave this eerie place, opens it as he walks back to his car. His heart pounds in his chest as he reads the words scrawled in a shaky hand. It's a disturbing message that sends a fresh wave of chills coursing through his veins, a grim punctuation to this strange delivery. The driver, relieved to leave, finds a disturbing note in the money envelope. This house, this unseen customer, will leave an indelible mark on his memory. A chilling reminder that sometimes the things we can't see can be the most terrifying of all. Back in the car, under the faint glow of the vehicle's light, the driver opens the envelope. His heart pounds in his chest, each beat echoing in the silence of the night. The envelope, seemingly ordinary, holds inside it an air of mystery that sends shivers down his spine. He pulls out a single piece of paper, the white stark against the dark interior of the car. As his eyes scan the note, a chill sweeps over him. The words scrawled in a hurried, frantic manner read, "Don't look back." A simple phrase, 3 words only, yet they carry a weight that makes his stomach churn. The letters seem to be etched in shadows, each one a terrifying whisper in the back of his mind. The driver's breath hitches in his throat, a cold sweat breaking out on his forehead. The words echo in his mind, a haunting refrain that instills an inexplicable fear within him. Don't look back. The note doesn't say why, doesn't give a reason, but the driver feels an alarming sense of dread. A shiver runs down his spine, the hairs on the back of his neck standing on end. He sits frozen in the driver's seat, the note clutched in his trembling hand. His mind screams at him to drive away, to put as much distance between himself and this place as possible. Heeding the warning, he thrusts the car into gear, the engine roaring to life. His knuckles turn white as he grips the steering wheel, his eyes glued to the road ahead. He doesn't dare look in his rearview mirror, doesn't dare glance back. The fear, irrational yet overwhelming, keeps his gaze forward. As the driver speeds away, he suddenly hears a loud thud on his car roof. The sound echoes in the silence, a terrifying reminder of the note's warning. His heart races, his breath coming out in ragged gasps. The note, now lying forgotten on the passenger seat, seems to whisper one last time, "Don't look back." Heart pounding, the driver pushes the pedal to the metal, desperate to get away. Every nerve in his body screams danger. His grip tightens around the steering wheel, knuckles white against the dark of the night. The road ahead is an endless stretch of black, only broken by the sporadic gleam of his headlights. His mind races faster than the car, each thud on the roof echoing like a dreadful drumbeat in his ears. It's a horrifying rhythm, a terrifying tattoo that fuels his fear and propels him forward. The thudding is relentless, a constant reminder that he is not alone, that something or someone is right above him. His heartbeat syncs with the thudding, a ghastly symphony of fear and adrenaline. He imagines claws scratching against the metal, unseen eyes watching him, a monstrous form hunched over his car. He dares not look in the rearview mirror, too afraid of what he might see. As he speeds on, the once empty road starts to show signs of life. A few scattered houses, a flickering street lamp, the distant hum of the city. Relief floods him, a welcome contrast to the terror that's been his only companion for the past few minutes. He's made it to the populated part of town. He's safe. The thudding ceases as abruptly as it began. The silence reverberates in his ears, each second ticking by with torturous suspense. He slows down, the car grumbling in response, and pulls over to the side. His heart still races, each beat a reminder of the terror he's just escaped. He sits there for a moment, gathering his courage. He knows he has to check. He has to know what was on his roof. His hand trembles as he reaches for the door handle. With a deep breath, he steps out, ready to confront whatever horror he might find. The driver, armed with only his courage, moves towards the back of his car. His heart pounds in his chest like a wild drum, echoing the eerie silence of the night. He reaches out, his hands trembling, expecting to feel the cold touch of something unknown. But instead, his fingers brush against the familiar metallic surface of his car roof. He breathes a sigh of relief, yet it's a sigh laced with lingering fear. In the pale glow of a nearby street lamp, he notices something out of place. A deep dent, a scar on the smooth surface of his car that wasn't there before. It's as if an unseen force had slammed down onto his vehicle with immense strength, leaving behind only this haunting mark. The driver shudders, a chill running down his spine, his mind filled with terrifying possibilities of what could have caused such damage. He stands there for a moment, the chilling wind whispering through the trees, his gaze fixed on the dent. It's a silent testament to the horror he had experienced, a tangible reminder of the fear that had gripped him. The adrenaline that had fueled his escape now leaves him feeling drained, his legs weak and shaky. He climbs back into his car, the comforting hum of the engine a stark contrast to the eerie quiet of the night. As he drives away, his mind races with thoughts. The driver, once thrilled by the adventure of late-night deliveries, now feels only dread. The thrill had been replaced by a chilling fear, a fear that gnaws at his courage, forcing him to make a decision. He decides then and there to quit his late-night delivery job. No amount of money, he realizes, is worth the terror he had experienced. From that night on, the driver never worked past sundown, a chilling reminder of the horror he experienced. His decision stands firm, a protective shield against the unknown terrors that lurk in the darkness. His story serves as a haunting tale for all who dare to venture into the night, a tale of an unforgettable experience that forever changed his life. And so, dear viewers, remember, not all deliveries end with a simple thank you. Our world teems with enigmatic horrors, lurking in the shadows of the mundane. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Stay safe and stay curious.